Welcome to Project CW, the next generation tank game from Wargaming. I'm sure you know their pedigree. World of Tanks, World of Warships, World of... what was the plane gaming? Never mind. So what is Project CW? It's not a TV channel that made some of the best DC media in the last 10 years. CW is for Project Cold War. And it's a fairly radical departure in a gameplay sense for Wargaming. Their previous successful games have all followed pretty much the same formula. Start with an early version of some sort of machine of war, enter into a single elimination battle and eliminate the enemy team while capturing some points, rinse and repeat, grind, going up the ladder of tanks, planes, or ships until you get into some crazy super weapons that you never really saw the field of battle, but are some pretty great poster art. And that's the basic formula for Wargaming. Well, Cold War takes that formula and adds some new life to it. The tanks have stayed, but now they are piloted by specific heroes they are calling agents, which I know a new hero shooter in 2024 doesn't exactly sound like the best idea, especially when the menu art kind of reminds me of Battlefield 2042, but I think they have done a good job at this. Each agent has their own vehicle or tank that is modified to fit the specific niche that their unique abilities offer. Every agent has a unique individual trait that will activate in battle when certain conditions are met, and these traits provide the agent with a special boost for a limited time. It works surprisingly well. They broke these agents into 3 different classes: Assault, Defender, and Fire Support. Assault are the agents that excel at breaching. The tanks usually have high mobility, high damage, and they usually seem to kind of favor auto loaders. They're kind of get in, hit hard, get out, and can't stand up to a prolonged fight. Then there's the Defenders. Those are ones that are all about defending. They tend to have big guns and they tend to have lots of armor, but do tend to pay for it with mobility. And then the final classification is the Fire Support. Those are ones that have all sorts of unique traits. This is where you're going to find your snipers and certain indirect fire abilities are housed within Fire Support. You take one of these tanks into a match, and at this time you are pretty much stuck with that one tank for the duration of the match. Currently there are 3 game modes available in the alpha that's going on. The first is Domination. This is a 5 capture point mode in a 10v10 respawn mode. I know, respawning in a wargaming game, it's unheard of at this time. The second is a single point capture mode. So there's 1 domination point that 2 teams of 5 fight over for the duration of a match, but it also has respawns. And then going back to the classics, there is also a search and destroy style mode of bomb planting where it features 1 life. The first team that wins 3 rounds wins the match. The no loadout switching within the modes really hurts in the no respawn mode. I'll just say that. If you want to see full games of any of those game modes I just talked about, at the same time that I'm posting this video, I'll be posting 3 other videos, one from each of those game modes, and each game mode will have a unique agent, tank, commander, person being used, so you can get to see the variety of gameplay that is on offer. And if you like what you see when you watch those, or while you're watching this and you want to see more stuff about Project CW, because I'll be honest, I'm quite enjoying this game, make sure you hit the like button and you hit that subscribe button. Okay, cool. Now, as far as game mechanics go, the back-end systems are a bit more obfuscated than the normal wargaming fare, but they have added a convenient ADS, sort of what they call sniper mode into the game. When you ADS, depending on what color you are looking at, it will let you know if your shot will penetrate or not. So there's less rogue memorization that has to go on in order for you to be successful with each and every tank. As far as for the best results while aiming, you should try to aim at one of the tank's common weak points. If you shoot the back of a turret, you can hit the ammo rack. If you shoot the broadside of the tank in the rear, you'll get the fuel tanks. And if you shoot dead on the back of it, well, you're going to try and knock the engine. If you can get yourself into the positions to hit the weak points in the game, you're probably going to walk out being fairly successful in the match. Speaking of in-game, you may notice some other pieces of UI that don't look familiar to you Wargaming regulars out there. The first one is up at the top right. This game does have a mini-map. I know, it's a shock. With the added info from it, it does really kind of help speed up the matches. On the bottom left, you can also see the health bar, and then under that is going to be the energy bar. The energy bar is how you know what sort of energy you have to use the abilities. Those abilities are just to the right over there. In this case, we are using the German sniper Jaeger. He has two abilities. The first one you see on the left is to deploy a decoy that looks like him. I can confirm it's a bit of a smarter decoy because it will rotate its turret to try to face the nearest enemy, which is pretty fun. And then he has a smoke screen. This is nice because Jaeger does also have thermal vision. Not all the tanks in the game have thermal vision, so that is another sort of balancing factor / ability that some of these commanders can have. The final bit I need to talk about in the game, though, is the vehicle customization. Each tank comes with 10 levels of unlockable upgrades, and in each upgrade slot, there are 3 distinct options for how you can upgrade the tank, and they tend to be fairly broad, so you can really, over those 10 levels, tailor the tank into the playstyle that you like for that vehicle. I'll just say, it is a great gameplay loop. It drives you to want to play more and more. So with all that said, let's go ahead and kind of get to my final thoughts. So I think what they have right now is a very strong gameplay loop. The drive to play and upgrade the tank, like I was saying, is a ton of fun, though I do worry what will happen once you get through all of the progression. I think the gameplay is pretty solid, but you may drop off once you stop having things to do. My other big piece of feedback is the lack of the ability to change tanks in mid-match. Can hurt, especially in those single life game modes. At this time, there doesn't seem to be a very smart matchmaker, and there does seem to be certain tanks that are just flat out better than the rest of the tanks. They're actually deploying a hot fix at some point soon in order to fix one of those specific tanks. But when you get put into a single life game mode and the match isn't that well balanced, you want to be able to switch out tanks for that counterplay. And I'm hoping that in the full release, there will be a system to switch them out, though I'm not 100% hopeful on this one. At this time, my only other concern is monetization. Right now, it looks like the monetization will be driven by battle passes. This will also unlock new tanks and agents. There's a sample one going on right now, which lets you unlock someone with a railgun, which is like, it's so much fun. But the biggest thing I noticed is that there is no premium ammo, which, let's be clear, is a huge win. The whole premium ammo system is what drove me to stop playing World of Tanks, right? Got it, played it, enjoyed it, and then by the time I unlocked a Tiger, I was like, man, it's premium ammo. I don't want to, I just don't want to participate in the system. And it forced me to stop playing the game because I did not enjoy that method or that play style or that forced system, and it turned me off the whole game whatsoever. I eventually went to World of Warships, and of course, that's why we're a World of Warships channel mainly here, and I'm one of their CCs. But my other huge positive that I have from this game is each tank I've played so far has felt wholly unique in its gameplay style and has had its own unique gimmicks and methods of play. And if they can nail that through the, 15, 20, 25, 30 agents that they are bringing forward, I think they are going to have a hit on their hands. But we will just have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, if you liked this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.